All right, let's dive right into this. Welcome to The Explainer, everyone. I am absolutely thrilled to be here with you today because, honestly, we are about to unpack one of the most talked about, yet somehow completely misunderstood financial spaces out there. We're going to uncover the real, raw mechanics behind the foreign exchange market. You know it as Forex. Today, we're stripping away all the myths, laying out the cold hard facts, and looking at what it truly takes to survive and thrive in this space.
And that brings us to the ultimate question, right? The one we all ask when we first stumble into the world of trading. Is Forex an actual, genuine path to financial freedom, or is it just a fast track to completely ruining your finances? I mean, if you spend even 5 minutes on social media, you've definitely seen the noise. The flashy sports cars, the rented mansions, the influencers claiming you can make $1,000 from your phone while sitting on a beach. But what is the actual truth here? Well, we are going to figure that out together by looking objectively at what the data and actual professional traders tell us. So to give you a perfectly balanced, no-nonsense breakdown today, here is our roadmap. 1. The reality of Forex. 2. The pros, looking at the opportunities. 3. The cons, the risks and the ruin. 4. The psychological battleground. And finally, 5. The professional mindset.
Okay, starting off with part 1, the reality of Forex and cutting through all that noise.
Before we can even start weighing the good against the bad, we've got to establish exactly what it is we are dealing with here. Forex trading is basically this massive, powerful global market for trading currencies. You are literally just exchanging one currency for another, trying to profit from the shifting exchange rates. It's decentralized, it's huge, and yes, it offers some serious financial opportunities. But, and this is a big but, it comes with equally serious risks. It's not a magical get-rich button. It's a highly complex financial market driven by global economics.
Let's move into part 2, the pros, the opportunities and the freedom that draw people in.
First up, and this is a big one, Forex lets you start with incredibly low capital. Think about trying to start a traditional brick-and-mortar business. You'd need what, tens of thousands of dollars just to open the doors? Not here. You can open a Forex account with a really small amount of money. And that is huge because it allows beginners to actually practice the essential stuff, learning risk management, studying market structure, figuring out their own trading psychology without risking their entire life savings on day one.
Another absolute game changer is the 24-hour market cycle. The Forex market is open almost all day, Monday through Friday. It literally just shifts across the globe, right? It rolls from the Asian session straight into the London session and then over to the New York session. The flexibility here is off the charts. Whether you're working a demanding 9-to-5, sitting in college lectures, or running a side hustle, you can almost certainly find a specific time window that fits perfectly into your schedule.
Now, let's talk about liquidity, because this is crucial. Major markets, like the euro against the US dollar, the British pound against the Japanese yen, or even trading gold against the US dollar, they have incredibly high liquidity. Basically, that means the market is constantly moving, and your trades get executed super fast. For a trader who actually knows what they're doing, this daily volatility creates a ton of clear opportunities to get in, make a profit, and get out.
And because of all that, there is a very real, legitimate path to financial freedom here. It usually starts small, just earning a little extra side income. But then, successful traders often scale up by passing evaluations for what are called prop firms. Basically, these firms give you access to much larger pools of their capital to trade with. You take a cut of the profits, and suddenly you're building serious long-term wealth. Some traders even parlay that into YouTube channels, investing, or mentoring. The ceiling is legitimately as high as you want it to be.
All right, shifting gears. Part 3, the cons, the risks, and the ruin.
Because listen, for all those incredible pros, there is a harsh, absolutely brutal downside. 90%. Let that number sink in for a second. 90% is the universally accepted statistic for the number of beginners who ultimately lose their money in the Forex market. Despite all the potential we just talked about, this is definitively not easy money. The vast majority of people crash and burn, usually because they walk into this arena totally unprepared for reality.
And a huge chunk of the blame for that failure rate falls on the toxic fantasy pushed on social media. It's everywhere, right? Influencers selling you rented lifestyles, showing off fake profits, or promising you can flip $100 into 10 grand by Friday. Guys, if someone leans against a rented Lambo and offers you a secret trading algorithm, run. Run the other way. The reality of trading is variable income. It's emotional stress. It's the realization that boring, methodical consistency is vastly more profitable than chasing a dopamine hit. Which leads us perfectly to the biggest double-edged sword in the entire industry: Leverage. Leverage is what lets you control a huge position with just a tiny amount of your own capital. And yeah, it sounds amazing when you're winning. But leverage is a magnifying glass. It magnifies everything. One tiny miscalculation, one small mistake while over-leveraged, and your entire account can be quite literally wiped out in the blink of an eye. Poof. Gone.
And that stress brings us to part 4, the psychological battleground.
Honestly, this is the deepest trap of all. When you trade, you are constantly going to war with your own brain. Beginners battle the fear of missing out. They battle raw, unfiltered greed. They get hit with a loss and immediately start revenge trading to try and win it back, which never works. It leads to this intense frustration and, a lot of times, a literal addiction to just staring at the charts all day long. These emotional hurdles completely sabotage beginners, making them throw their discipline right out the window.
So if we look at the actual timeline for mastering this, it's sobering. Year 1, you are almost certainly going to be losing money and learning very hard lessons. Year 2 is usually this intense psychological struggle where you have to unlearn all your terrible emotional habits. It isn't really until year 3, or even way beyond that, that a trader develops consistent professional skill. It's a profession. It takes years of extreme patience, which totally shatters that get-rich-quick illusion. Let's bring it all home with part 5, the professional mindset.
How do the successful minority, that 10%, actually survive? It all comes down to accepting this final balance sheet. On the one hand, Forex has the potential to change your life, create massive opportunities, and build real wealth. But on the exact flip side, the danger is that it can destroy your savings, crush you with emotional pressure, and become a toxic addiction if you approach it wrong. The absolute truth is that Forex is not a scam, but it is absolutely 100% not a lottery ticket. To be on the winning side, you need a very specific set of traits, and these are non-negotiable. You need strict, unwavering discipline. You need flawless risk management so that one bad Tuesday doesn't ruin your life. You have to have extreme patience to just sit on your hands and wait for the perfect setup. And most importantly, you need realistic expectations about just how long this journey is actually going to take.
If you take nothing else away from this whole explainer, let it be this golden rule. Treat Forex like a business, not a casino. It's that simple. If you treat the markets like a slot machine, the market is going to gladly take all your money. But if you respect it, if you apply logic, manage your risk, and execute a clearly defined plan, well then, you aren't gambling. You're running a business.
Which leaves us with one final, pretty provocative thought for you to chew on today. Ask yourself honestly right now, are you just looking for a thrill, or are you genuinely ready to put in the work to build a business? Take a moment and really reflect on your own motivations here. The market is completely unforgiving to gamblers, but it deeply, deeply rewards the disciplined professional. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this explainer. Keep learning, stay disciplined out there, and I will see you on the next one.